Hello, this is Will Dean, the forest author. I'm here in my shack in the Moose Forest, and today I would like to talk about chronographs. Interesting, vintage, affordable chronographs. Chronographs that do not break the bank. A lot of these things cost $100, couple of $100. That's all. Nothing. I don't think. None of my chronographs cost over $1,000. Nowhere near it. But I like yachting dials. I like color in my subdials, and I like interesting looms. So let's take a look at my very affordable vintage chronograph. Why do I have trouble with that word? Chronograph collection. Let's get into it. I don't know why I love chronographs so much. Something to do with the symmetry of the dial, the playing around with the symmetry and the asymmetry. Maybe it's the fact that they're often a fairly contemporary size, even if it's a 60s, 70s piece. Let me kick off with this, which is an Exactima. I've got it on this kind of para cord strap, which is really comfortable, and it plays off the chronograph hand really nicely. It's a panda dial. Is that panda or reverse panda? Tell me in the comments, I always forget. But it's got a beautiful eggshell dial again with two black subdials, Swiss made chronograph. Nice and simple. Works like a dream. Really simple chronograph movement in here. Fine with me. I don't need anything super complicated or super accurate. It's just a fun piece to have on wrist. Next up, I'm going to talk about this little beauty. This is what is this? A Fulton Officer chronograph with tritium lume. Difficult to wind a watch, especially a vintage watch with leather gloves on. Just check out that dial. It's faded to a beautiful shade of grey, has the kind of the blue subdial on the left for constant running seconds, and then on the right for the chronograph minutes. It's pink and blue with a pink chronograph hand lollipop and a really nice steel bezel. Just activate the chronograph. I like this watch a great deal, partly because I think it's gorgeous. I genuinely do. I like the bezel. I love the dial. I love the lume, the way the lume has aged. There's hour markers. But also, I like the fact that it was really inexpensive. I bought this from a German dealer. It works perfectly, resets back to 12 perfectly. And I really enjoy wearing that chronograph. Next up, I'm gonna show you my Kienzle. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. It's a German chronograph, but Swiss made. Really inexpensive again. I think this was less than $250 years ago. Really nice lume. Yellow textured lume, black subdials that have gone grey. Tritium, nice crystal. Works really well. And this is 40mm, but with this kind of squarish case, so it wears large. It's almost, I've got a 7.5 inch wrist, I think 7.25, and this wears large for me. Love wearing this though. It's got a lot of character for an inexpensive watch. Okay, next up is another Lucerne. I've got a Lucerne Pepsi Diver, but this is more like a chronostop than a chronograph. Little, I think it's 36mm. I got it on a NATO that picks out the orange chrono hand. Just a very honest little chronograph that cost no money at all. Next, and I'm hoping this natural sun will pick out the blue on this. This is a Cimier chronograph. Let me wind it up a little. The blue dial's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I've seen on someone's wrist the FP Jaune Chronomètre Bleu. I'm not very good with the French accent, but that's a beautiful shade of blue. I've seen some beautiful blue watches, but this thing that costs nothing, that's worth nothing monetarily, has a spectacular blue dial. It almost looks like a kind of a lacquered blue dial. The light plays off it so nicely. Red chronograph hand. I think it's the same movement as in the Exactima. It certainly works the same way. Which is to say, it's a very simple chronograph movement. And again, very happy with that. There's not so much to go wrong with it. It's got this asymmetrical case design. Like you see bullhead chronographs have. It's thicker at the 12 o'clock end, which I like. It wears well on the wrist. And I get a lot of compliments for this. It comes on a vintage beads of rice bracelet. Super comfortable. Nice little panda chronograph. Do I have any other chronographs? Yes, I do. This is a Lanco. Some similarities with the Fulton Officer. Also, gorgeous dial. Gorgeous crystal. Gorgeous case. I think it's new old stock. Doesn't have a lot of wear. Red seconds hand. Really interesting dial. Hope that's focused. Hope you can see that. Really interesting dial. Left chronograph, constant running seconds, just white, and then this one, the chronograph minutes, dial, subdial, blue and white. Really handsome with kind of grey. Didn't pay much for this. I've got it on a brown leather strap with blue stitching. And I order my straps. I get my handmade straps that also do not cost me very much from a guy who makes them. And I ask for them normally 0.3 millimeters larger than the lug width. So you get this nice tight fit. And I think that works well. I think that looks good. So that's the Lanko. And you're probably familiar with some of these brands. They're well known for being great value, especially Kienzle, Cimier, Lucerne, Lanko. Next up, this is a weird little thing. This is a kind of a yachting chronograph. Maybe it's 70s. It has this weird case. Can you see that? It's kind of plastic. I don't even know what it's made out of. It feels like plastic. Kind of bead blasted plastic. And then it has the yachting subdial, which I love. The white, green and blue with the orange hands. Okay. Let's just activate this. Actually, it's got quite a nice click, considering. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had to go and chase my giant St. Bernard away. Next up is my Nivada Grenchen. A brand I really like. This is a fairly recent pickup. Original case back, beautiful case back. Original crown, grey dial, white subdials, and the white chronograph subdial has this little yellow segment. Date at 12 o'clock and orange chronograph hand, which works well with the strap. Swiss made, kind of an understated, underrated brand in my opinion. Really like them. This is my one and only Nivada. Next up, a Meister Anker. Love this brand. German, watch of the people kind of brand. Not expensive at all. Really interesting colorways. Very contemporary size. Like it. This is a Dreffer. Never heard of them. I've never heard of a lot of the brands that I collect, and that's because a lot of them died with the quartz crisis. So they're not made anymore. Sometimes they're quite obscure, nobody knows about them. But this has got a gorgeous, really high dome crystal, plastic crystal. It's got a big eye chronograph dial. So the chronograph subdial is larger than the constant running second subdial, which I like a great deal. I don't know why I like it so much, I just find it very pleasing. And a stainless steel bezel, similar to the Fulton. And then finally, this brute of a bullhead, my Rilliac. I think it's a French brand, again, long gone. Bruiser of a thing. It's been beat up, it's been used. It reminds me a little bit of the bullhead that Brad Pitt wears in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He wears his on a bund in true 70s style. But yeah, I like it. It's not a pretty dainty little thing. It's a tough bullhead chronograph, but I like wearing it. Blue dial, orange chrono hand, date at 9 o'clock. That's the chronograph collection. None of them are valuable, but I enjoy wearing all of them. Interesting dials, a lot of kind of yachting style dials, and some interesting pandas with blue, eggshell and grey dials. Thank you very much for watching.